Hey there, everybody. Natalie Cutler-Welsh here. Welcome back to another episode of the Up Your Brave Livestream. This is the series where collectively we're aiming to massively raise the state of resilience, health, and happiness, not just here in New Zealand, but on a global level. And we definitely need it now. And today I'm super pumped to be talking about one of my ultimate favorite things, which is business. We're going to be talking about growing your business. And whether you're listening to this post-COVID or like many, many months down the track, we're going to share with you some golden tips and insights from my amazing 3 guest experts today about how you can grow your business during times of change. Let's do it. I'll bring them in. Yay, so good to see you guys. Hey, we got Debra Chantry-Taylor. Hey, Deb.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. We've got Kim Baird from Amazing Business.
Hi.
And we've got Jeff Gamagami. Everyone say it with me. Gamagami. Oh, I like it. Cool. Awesome, you guys. So what we'll do, as per always, is I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory on each of the guests before they share their tip number 1 with us today. So let's dive in. Oh, let me find it again. I'm going to dive in and share with you a little bit of backstory about Deb. So Deb and I don't know, we probably met maybe 5 or so years ago. And you've had such an interesting journey, like definitely some challenges. So I'm going to read a little bit to you guys so you can get the flavor of what she's persevered through. Deb Chantry-Taylor is a business coach and mentor and no stranger to adversity, perseverance, and growing businesses in times of challenge. Having started her community events business in 2017, she experienced a series of unexpected tragedies, including losing her brother without any warning, and then followed by that, nursing her mother through terminal cancer, flying back and forth to Australia to do so. Deb forged on building the business, and while that original business model failed, she managed to pivot the business and turn it into a profitable events space, which became very well known and was, I have to say, I had some events there, a gorgeous space, definitely. So unfortunately, the event space ended up also being a casualty of COVID and currently in hibernation. So I look forward to hearing about that. Deb has used her learnings and experiences to continue to grow her leadership coaching business and now works with business owners and leading their teams using the entrepreneurial operating system to help them build a better life through better business, even through challenging times. So Deb, what a journey for you, super massive journey. If you want to elaborate on any of that, by all means, go ahead and then take us to your first tip.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, as most of you will know, The Common, and it was my little passion to get out there and help more entrepreneurs. I was helping on a one-on-one basis, and I wanted to create a safe space where entrepreneurs could come and meet with other entrepreneurs, host events, everything else. Obviously, a couple of major things happened just directly after launching that business. And it was difficult to keep going. However, we kept going. We learned a lot along the way. What most people don't know, it was actually profitable by the time we actually closed it. And we had a new space lined up to go into in May of this year. And then COVID hit. And so it's now in hibernation. But it was really cool to kind of go from that journey of having something that wasn't really working, going through some pretty massive personal stuff, and still being able to come out the other side. So my first biggest tip is, and I wish I'd done a little bit more of it myself, is to actually ask for help. So I think when you've got all of these things going on around you, you tend to get overwhelmed. You tend to not see the wood for the trees, and it can be really, really difficult to lift yourself out of what is going on. And so I was really fortunate. I had some really great people who could actually meet with me, ask the tough questions, get me kind of refocused on the business. And without that, I don't think I would have got through it. So I would very much recommend, don't be afraid to ask for help. I always say, hey, look, you know what it's like. If you help somebody, how does it make you feel? Makes you feel amazing, right? So why would you deny that of somebody else? Why would you rip them off and not allow them to help you? So I went out there, I asked for help. I managed to put together a huge amount of people who actually came in behind me and helped me. And it just helped me get through some of those really difficult personal times.
Yay, that's so cool. And to see that you're doing what you love doing, which is helping business owners right now, is pretty amazing as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yay. All right. We look forward to hearing more about that. And when you do launch again, the event space, keep me posted. Absolutely. All right, Kim, let's go to you. Oh, before we do that, so for those of you that are watching us live, we got a couple people watching and or watching the replay, definitely go ahead and comment. Let us know, hey, let's do some networking. Let us know the name of your business. Feel free to pop a link in there. I love to connect people. So you can do a shout out for your own business. And if you've got any questions for my panelists, then for sure you can comment and ask them here today. All right, so let's talk about you, Kim. So Kim, I guess it's not really nice to say the other half of Andy, but Andy was a guest on one of my earlier shows. And so it's really nice to have both of you come in. Kim Baird is an inspirational speaker, award-winning author, transformational business coach, and entrepreneur. Kim has helped thousands of people to transform their businesses better with her unique approach. She has been in business over 18 years and has a wealth of knowledge and experience in the real world of business. Over that time, she's created many great successes in her own business and for her clients. She's also experienced many challenges, as most of us have, in business, including 2006 during the GFC, where she found herself $250,000 in bad debt with a newborn baby. What a combination. She came through that without going into bankruptcy and is coming out the other side stronger as a leader and entrepreneur. She knows how to get through challenges and difficult times and is excited to be sharing some of this with us today. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Nat. And yes, I am the other half of Andrew Baird, right? There's debate on who's better, but you know, we like to compliment each other and be a team. So, oh, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, so we run amazing business together, do business coaching, and are both really passionate about helping businesses. And I am even more passionate right now to be helping small and medium businesses through this time, because it is such a challenging time. And I really believe that the more businesses that can, you know, survive and thrive through this time, the better off everyone is, right? Our small and medium businesses in New Zealand and around the globe do so much for the economy and just for society in general as well. So I think it's a really great and an important topic right now. So it's kind of a bit of extension on my background. I've definitely been through a lot of challenges. And yeah, I love helping people get through it and really see the possibilities through challenges, because often we can kind of get stuck in that place of hopelessness and that we can't do anything about it. And there's so much we can do about it. And I know, you know, Debra started us off with a really great tip to start with. I know Jeff will have some amazing tips as well. And it's like, there's so many things we can do to move us forward, which gets me to my first tip, which is about your inner world. So I'm passionate about what I call your inner game, which consists of what's going on in your inner world that is helping to create your outer world. Okay, so helping you to get results in the outer world, right? Grow your business, get more clients, make more money, you know, have a better life, right? Enjoy life, because I'm all about that as well. And so I think during times of challenges, what can happen is we can really contract and shrink how we're feeling on the inside. We can kind of hear all the stories of doom and gloom and what's going on in the world. And we can internalize that. And then from doing that, we can create our own stories and beliefs during challenging times that will then create certain results and often undesirable results, right? We will be stuck in there's nothing we can do, it's hopeless, no one's buying, you know, no one has any money to spend. And the thing is with challenges is there's always the duality. There's always people who are thriving in business. There's always people who are spending. And I am on a daily basis hearing of stories of businesses that are thriving, of businesses that are growing, of businesses that have wait lists right now, of businesses that are running events that are sold out. And so you can always find the duality, right? You can always find stories that are going on. And so part of your inner world is what you are filling yourself up with, okay, in the current climate. And so I love filling myself up right now with really inspirational stories of wins, of successes. It's not to deny that there's no hardship. There's hardship going on. There's struggle going on. But what are you going to focus on in order to help yourself move forward in your business, in order to grow your business, in order to get more clients? Focus on the successes. Focus on the wins that other people are getting. Learn from them. You know, get help. As Debra said, ask questions. It's kind of another sneaky tip, but it's like, ask questions of people who are succeeding and winning and growing at the moment, to learn from them, to get help and find out how you can grow your business. So that's my first tip. Focus on your inner world, how that is, in order to create your outer world.
I know that I've been along to some of your events. I've been a huge fan and promoter of your guys' stuff for years. And I remembered this one phrase that you taught us that really stood out. And I actually used it with a client of mine. I credit it to you, of course, when I was down in Christchurch last week. And you said this words, you said, what would it take? Right? So when people go, I can't do this and I couldn't possibly do that and all the things, you and Andy are like, what would it take? And just what would it take is such a mindset opening phrase. So I wanted to make sure we have it here today. So do you want to elaborate on that before I move on?
Yeah, so it's what I call quality questions. So it's a really powerful tool. It's, I've been doing inner world stuff and business for 18 years. So, and one of the tools that I learned early on is this concept of quality questions. And what we normally do in life is we ask ourselves really disempowering questions like, why am I so stupid? Why do I always screw up? Why am I always broke? Why is no one buying off me? Why am I a loser? And so these questions, the universe will show you the answers to those questions, right? It'll be like, oh, you want the answer to that? Okay, here you go. I will show you why you're a loser. I will show you why you're failing, right? And so instead, we can completely flip that around and open ourselves up instead of contracting ourselves and going, what would it take? Asking quality questions. What would it take for me to make an extra $5,000 this week? What would it take for me to make an extra $100,000 this year? What would it take for me to get 5 new clients in the next week? What would it take for me to pay off debt right now? I know a lot of people that have been getting ahead financially during this time. And so it's like, again, it's getting back into those stories of the doom and gloom and staying in that place of hopelessness. But instead of doing that, expand out the possibilities and go, hey, use questions of what can you do right now? Because there's lots you can't do, but it's like, what can you do right now to move your business forward? That might be that you have to pivot or adapt of what you're offering, or it might be that you need to do more marketing, right? And take different actions. So quality questions are very, very powerful to help you.
I love that. It's such a cool concept. And we could spend an hour talking about that. All right, Jeff, I'm going to give you a chance to say something. Yay. So Jeff is the other half of Donna. So Donna Gamagami was on the show, I think possibly with Andy on that same panel. So it's super exciting to have you here today. I know, Jeff, you know what? When I think of you, okay, so earlier this year, I started this thing called Fun Club. And one of the challenges I said, I want you guys to think of like 5 people in your life who, when you think of them, you just think like so fun. You are on my fun list, definitely, probably at the top. So Jeff, you were super fun, super smart, super like successful and like confident with that, while also having this lovely streak of, humility about it. And so I'm super excited to have you here and to share your journey with everybody today. Oh no, where'd it go? Here we go. Let me read about Jeff. Let's do it. Jeff Gamagami is a guy who walks his talk, having built a business that has distributed approaching 200 million in products in over 30 countries. While doing so, he's built a reputation as a trustworthy leader. His fun-loving and sometimes cheeky personality, I agree, instantly makes people feel comfortable. Jeff is down to earth, yet driven. He has high expectations of himself and those he works with. He's an inspiration. He has an inspirational story of a high school dropout who went from millionaire to millionaire. Very catchy. Jeff has shared his story to live audiences of more than 100,000 people around the world, and his training series called Proven Principles has been a massive success with more than 500,000 unique views. With a passion for helping people, Jeff works best with self-motivated people who have a burning desire to work for themselves, enjoy time, money, and ultimately freedom. Welcome, Jeff.
Sounds like a really interesting guy. I want to hear him. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction, Natalie. I brought a little prop here because I just wanted to say that, we're at war right now. We're at war, and I loved what Kim just said. So I got my little snowboard helmet there. But I love what Kim said about the inner game of your mind and what you think and what thoughts you put in there. And it's so, so true. Listen, a bit of my background, Natalie shared a bit. I'm American originally. I came to New Zealand 37 years ago. I dropped out of school. I'm not, let's just say I'm not the sharpest pencil in the pencil case. Thanks for saying I'm very smart, Natalie. I'm a smart aleck. I don't know if I'm smart, book smart. But if there was a sort of a smooth, easy road and a goat track, for some reason in my life, I took the hard road. I took the goat track. And I had many, many, many obstacles in my life. And I think, one of the things that's helped me become successful is by navigating those obstacles. And really, I love this quote. I love this quote. Obstacles are the things you see when you take your sights off your goals. And for me, in my life, I had, chosen this path. It was a tough road to go. And it was really by getting some great mentors and being coachable, willing to change my own points of view, that really, really helped me in life. And, we're so grateful for the foundation of business we have created. I wish I could say it's all about me. My wife, Donna, is an integral part. I'm just kind of the worker bee. I try to do what I'm told sometimes, occasionally. Okay, not really that often, but I do make an effort. And really grateful for the affiliates and the partners we have around the world. We have been a real benefit, have had a real benefit from this whole uncertainty. In fact, our business has grown by more than $500,000 a month in the last 90 days. So it's been quite incredible. And today I just want to, I guess, give you guys a few tips that may help you. Now, every business is different, and some of you who are listening to this don't have a business. So that's okay too, because it's no different, if you have a job. I guess what I want to say for a start, I got so much I could share, and we only have a short period of time, but this disruption, this has just begun. So the first thing, when I say we're at war, COVID-19, okay, here in New Zealand, we've got 20 some cases, and we seem to have life back to normal, but this is far, far from normal. And I think you all need to prepare yourself and just be in the understanding that the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to need to dig deep in yourself, whether you're an employee today, whether you're thinking of starting a business, or whether you have a business. You're going to need to dig deep in yourself and possibly change some things that you've been doing. I'm sure you've heard the quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And my first tip that I want to share with you is from one of my favorite little books, and you can all go get this book or listen to an audiobook. It's called Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah.
And oh my God, it's this quirky little story, if you haven't heard it before, about Scurry and Sniff. And I want to share with you just a little bit of the parable and maybe how it applies to you. Again, whether you're an employee or whether you're starting a business, or whether you have a business today, I want you to think about this. So in the little fable, we've got Scurry, and Scurry is a super hard worker. He is very diligent. And these two little mice, they've been going in this little maze, and they get to this cheese. And every day they go back to the same place, and there's more cheese, and they eat it. And the next day they go back, and there's more cheese. Both Scurry and Sniff are having a great time. They're getting nice and fat on the cheese, and they're enjoying life. And then one day the cheese is gone. And Scurry keeps going back. He's a hard worker. He's very persistent. He's very tenacious. Keeps going back again and again and again. No cheese, no cheese, no cheese. Well, Sniff is one of these lateral thinkers. He's a lateral thinking mouse, and he thinks, hey, the cheese isn't here. Maybe I should go and see where else the cheese might have gone. Scurry says, no, the cheese was here before, and so I'm going to keep going back because it's going to come back. If I just keep persistently going back, it's going to come back. And here's the moral of the story. Of course, Sniff, I got to look at my notes, make sure I get the right names here. Sniff goes and finds, goes and searches and searches. He's inquisitive and looking for solutions, and finds the cheese, which is moved in the maze, while Scurry does not. And you have to ask yourself right now, what's working in your business, or what's working in your life, what's not working, and what can you change? These are 3 fundamental questions that are so powerful. What's working? What's not working? What can I change? and not making the mistake of keeping going and doing the same thing over and over again because it worked in the past. This new environment with COVID-19 or whatever. This is the COVID-19 is an example, but there's many things that happen in life that can affect business. I love what Deb said about persistence. Oh my God, that is just like, that is so important. But you also have to be able to pivot and change when something's not working. I love what Deb said about asking for help. In fact, I'm writing a book called 4 Words. 4 words, WORDS, that help you move forwards, FORWARDS. 4 words that may help you move forwards in life, and that's, can you help me? Can you help me? I can tell you right now that 90% of my business today comes from asking people who said no to me, that were not interested in what I was doing, were not interested in doing business together, that I said, listen, I appreciate your point of view. I appreciate we're not going to do business together, but can you help me? And then the other 4 words is, who do you know? 4 words, and there's lots of 4-word sayings that will help you.
Yeah, mine is say what you want.
That's all right. What's that?
Say what you want. That's my
say favorite. What you want. I'm gonna put that in the book. Say what you want. Honey, you're right. Honey, you're absolutely right. There's lots of 4-word sayings that will help you in life. But phenomenal. And you have to be able to go out there and do that. And Deb, that was great advice, Deb. And Kim, I wrote down, I hope you're all taking notes, because I got so many gems already just listening to these 2 amazing ladies. Pivot and your inner game. Oh my God, your mindset and what you're talking about. That's so powerful. So anyway, that's my first tip is think like Sniff, not like Scurry. And you might have to change. There's 1 billion people in the world whose lives will be disrupted, and not just by COVID-19. You've got AI and robotics coming. They're going to take 1/3 of the jobs on the planet. There is so many other things happening in the world. You need to be able to pivot your business. You need to be able to be lateral in your thinking, and not just go back to the same place over and over again. So that's my tip for today. My first tip.
I love that. So good. And one of the things we all know is, I think, especially with COVID, is don't put your eggs in one basket. I was so happy that I had multiple revenue streams when COVID hit, because I was fine. But it's almost like, I feel like to a certain extent, we almost have to be apologetic. You don't hear about the businesses that are doing well, Kim, that you mentioned, because some people are like, oh, it's a bit awkward because people are struggling. I kind of, it's like, we need to hear the success stories from other people to show, like you said, that we've got both going on. We always will. So it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And the other thing is, like, look in other places for the cheese. I'm going to add that to my list. Look for the cheese somewhere else. Good to know. All right. So before we move into round 2, I guess one of my tips is really around taking empowered action. So one of the things I've discovered in my 8.5 years of business, and before that, personal development and everything else, is, a lot of people, I think, get stuck in their head, and they're like, oh, I couldn't do this. And they come up with all the reasons, or fear of failure, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of people are just, they just are nervous to look bad, or they don't want to put themselves out there and be pushy. That's definitely something I see a lot from people. But I feel like, you need to take empowered action. So it's not just take action and be busy, right? There's 1,000 things on your to-do list. It will never go away. It will just keep growing. But take empowered action that actually moves you towards where you actually want to go. So I think saying what you want, for me, that's one of my favorite phrases, but it's like, reconnect with what you want and then take empowered action to move you towards it. So I don't know if that helps people. Everyone knows they need to take action, but empowered action is actions that you actually want to take, because it's heading you towards where you actually want to go, not just where you said you would go or doing what you've always done. So there's my little tip there. All right, let's go into round number 2. Deb, your tip or insight for growing your business.
Yeah, sure. So this kind of leads in from all of the things that have been said here this morning. And of course, all these things that I'm saying are nothing new, but it's around the whole looking after yourself first. So I think that the biggest challenge is when we've got all of these things going on around us and being told we have to pivot, we have to think differently, a new normal, and we've got all these adverse things happening, is our tendency is to focus on the business and the business and the business. And then without looking after ourselves first as leaders, it's really hard to run an effective business. And so whilst it's easy to jump into the business, spend all your time there, I think it's important for your mindset, for your health and wellness, to actually look after yourself. And it was interesting, I bought a little prop 2, which is my gratitude journal. And one of my favorite books, Jeff, is actually Fish. And Fish talks about, how do you actually make what turns out to be a really awful kind of job into something fun? And they talk about number 1 principle about choosing your attitude. And I think that it's really easy, like Kim said, to kind of beat yourself up when things aren't going well and why can't I do this and why isn't that happening? But in actual fact, if you start your day with gratitude and start with, hey, look, I'm so grateful for the fact that I have a warm bed, for the fact that I got to go and walk the dogs in the beautiful park in the middle of a gorgeous country. I'm so grateful that I have a loving partner next to me. It actually changes the way the day starts right from the beginning. And this particular journal, which I love, which is the 5-minute journal, also reviews in the evening. So you get a chance to actually then go, okay, what amazing things happened today? And you set your intention in the morning and then you review it in the evening. And what I often find is without worrying, so I set intentions without worrying about how. I just go, wouldn't it be great if this happened today? And then you come back in the evening and you review it, and 9 times out of 10, whatever you put out there in the morning actually happens throughout the day. And you haven't got to worry. I suppose the biggest thing people do is they always go, oh yes, but I don't know how. I don't know how to get there. I always say, hey, connect. Be really, really strong, connect with your why, know what you want to do and why you're doing it, be really clear about some goals that you want to achieve, and let the universe kind of sort out the how. So that was my tip, was kind of looking after yourself. Take time out, take some clarity breaks. I think it's really important to actually remove yourself from your normal environment and just get out into a different environment. For me, every morning it's just going out for a bicycle ride and a dog walk, and just, spending that time not thinking about work, not thinking about anything other than how beautiful the trees are, and allowing those thoughts to come in. And then, looking after your sort of your health and wellness in terms of gratitude, but also from a physical point of view. It's a little bit too easy when things are going wrong. And I'm classic. I love a glass of wine. When things are going wrong, it's easy to kind of go, oh, I'll have another glass of wine. And then after another glass of wine, maybe I'll have some more chocolate biscuits. But in actual fact, what I found through that awful time with my mum and my brother passing away, I actually really paid attention to my health and made sure I was looking after my health and wellness. And I'm not saying it took away the pain and the stuff that I went through, but it certainly meant that you were in a better space to actually deal with it. So that's my tip. Look after yourself first, and then you can be a better leader all around.
Nice. I love the props that we've got going on today, you guys. So if you're watching us, please go ahead and comment. We'd love to know, from all the things we've covered so far, which is quite a lot, what is one thing you're going to do? So from all the things, what is one thing that you're going to do in your life, in your business? I love the concept of clarity breaks. Like you said, Deb, I actually have to schedule them in, or else I just work because the kids are at school and I only have 5 hours and I love what I do. And so putting it in, walk outside, have some outside time.
If it's not in your diary, it doesn't happen. And people laugh at my diary because I actually have an 8:30 appointment that actually says, get ready for bed and read. And at 9:30, it says, go to sleep.
Nice.
I laugh at that and think, but that's a little bit anal. But in reality, if it's in your diary, you've got the choice to do it or not to do it. If it's not in your diary, you don't have the choice. And so for me, going to bed early is really, really important. So I'm an early riser. And so it's in my diary. It's time to go to bed and get ready to sleep.
Very cool. Love it. All right, Kim, let's go to your second tip.
Perfect. Awesome. I love that, Debra, scheduling it in. And it's one of the things that I really encourage people to do as well, because otherwise we just don't look after ourselves. And it's always at the bottom of the priority. So, and that kind of flows nicely into my second tip, which is about important action. So it's kind of a slightly different from yours, Nat. And I love that empowered action. And this is actually something different called important action. And it's really doing the actions that are important, that are going to get you to achieve the goals that you want or the results that you want. And sometimes those are not empowered actions. Sometimes you will resist the things that are the most important actions for you to do. So, looking after yourself, as Debra said, is actually a really important action. And it's one that I've certainly in the past put on the bottom of the priorities, and it never got done. And then, experienced burnout because of it and everything like that. So I see looking after yourself as a really important action. Another important action that I see is really important is marketing and sales right now. And what happens, especially in the current environment, is business owners can get really scared and nervous and afraid of promoting themselves and doing marketing and doing sales, because they're like, oh, well, we're in a recession and people are hurting and in hardship, so I'm going to pull back. It's the same with cutting back on expenses. Cutting back on expenses is a really great thing to do right now, but it's what are the important expenses that you do need to keep? And often the first thing that businesses cut out is their marketing expenses. And then they wonder why they don't get more clients, because they've cut the very thing that is bringing them in clients. And so marketing and sales activities, it's not, often us business owners, we love kind of what we do. And not everyone loves the marketing and the sales side and the promoting side of their business. And so it's easy to resist that. And that comes back to your inner game again, right? And your stories and your beliefs. And I love, was it Deb that had talked about your connecting with your why? And I really love that and resonate that, because when you've got a strong why, then the things that you find uncomfortable, like the marketing and sales actions, they have a purpose behind them, and they become a lot easier when you can connect with, okay, well, I really want to create a business that looks like this, that's creating this impact in the world. And I know, Nat, you're big on, businesses that create an impact, right? And make it a world and have a positive difference in the world. And this is really connecting with that why, to go, hey, I really want to create a business that is creating an impact. It helps you to then be able to promote yourself and do the marketing and sales actions because of that why behind you. Because right now the world needs, people need help. People need services and your products. And so by not doing the marketing and sales, and, I see marketing and sales as just a communicating, right? You are communicating what you're doing, how you're doing it, the benefits, the transformations you can give to people. And if you get clear on the right people that's going to serve and benefit the most, then it's just communicating to them what you can do for them and giving them the opportunity to either take that up or not. So a lot of the important actions that we do, that we need to do to create the results that we want, they're not always comfortable. They're not always what we necessarily want to do. And so we can completely avoid them or resist them or make up every excuse in the book to not do them. But what it's doing is it's essentially sacrificing our business, because without marketing and sales, you're not going to be bringing in the cash, and you're not going to be growing your business. You're not going to be able to serve people and have the impact that you want.
Totally agree. I actually have a client, and she was really feeling like that marketing piece. She's like, I just feel like getting she uses the phrase bums on seats, is really hard. And we actually ended up, because I'm like a visibility coach and mentor, we actually got her on radio. And she was able to, and it didn't feel like marketing, because it wasn't. She was literally getting interviewed by Catherine Ryan about her niche area of complete expertise, which is getting fussy eaters eating. So basically the confident eating, picky eaters. So it's a very niche topic for some parents. But she was amazing, because she just did her thing. She just got asked questions, answered them, gave amazing knowledge for free. Ended up selling a whole bunch of books and all the things that can sometimes come with that. But sometimes I feel like you're right. People are so resistant to market. But if you find a way that feels good, where they can be in their area of genius, then it feels nicer. Not so much like the bums on seats thing, which can feel painful. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, great. So let's go to you, Jeff, for your second tip or insight. Oh, you're muted. You're muted still.
Yay. Oh my God, what I said was so profound. You missed it.
What did we?
I'm sorry about that. I was just saying, oh my God, it's been so profound listening to all you guys, what you've been sharing. I've been taking so many notes. So I've got so much I could share right now, but listen, what I was going to share was just give service. How can you outperform every other business in your niche, in your category, by giving better service, by actually thanking your customers? Give them a reach out and say, I just want to thank you and appreciate you for doing business with me. I know you have lots of choices out there, and thank you. There's nothing that will bring more customers more easily to you than other raving fans, which I call customers. Customers I call raving fans. And so by giving service, by going out of your way, and it's not giving them free stuff necessarily, it's actually acknowledging people. And I really, really want to encourage you to reach out there and just say, I really appreciate you. You try that. Try that in your relationship. Try that in your business. Try that with your kids. Try it with your friends. Try it with everybody. You'll find that everything gets richer when you're grateful and you appreciate them in your life. So many other things I could share, but I just felt like compelled to share with you is that a little when I was struggling, when I first started in business, I mean, it wasn't easy. I mean, we just had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and I found this book and I read this quote. I kid you not, at least 2 times a day for a couple of years. And it was by Og Mandino. I'll read it to you quickly right now. It's called, I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. Henceforth, I will repeat these words each hour, each day, every day, until these words become as much a habit as my breathing. And the action which follows becomes as instinctive as the blinking of my eyelids. With these words, I can condition my mind to perform everyday action necessary for my success. I will act now. I will repeat these words again and again and again. I will walk where failure fears to walk. I will work when failure seeks to rest. I will act now. I will act now. I'll act now. And for now is all. And for now, sorry, but dyslexic, is all I have. Tomorrow is a day reserved for the lazy, for the labor of the lazy. I am not lazy. Tomorrow is the day when the failure will succeed. I am not a failure. I will act now. Success will not wait. If I delay, success will become married to another and lost to me forever. This is the time. This is the place. I am the person. I will act now. What actions can you take every single day? How can you push yourself and say, you know what? I'm just going to ask that question that I wasn't going to ask. I'm just going to take that action I wasn't going to take. And this is whether you're an employee, whether you're looking at starting a business or have a business today. Be a person in action, in direction, in alignment with your goals and your values. And that's just so, so important. Okay, that's 2 tips for the price of 1.
Oh, love it. And no, it's so good. I love that we have this very big theme of action. So I'm super happy about that. Well, I brought a prop too, you guys. Check it out. I'm a garage sailor. I love going to the garage sales, kind of like Gary Vee. And this was kind of like a metaphor. I was like, we talk a lot about the hamster wheel, and people do as well at work. You're on a hamster wheel going round and round at business because there's never nothing to do. And I was like, make it fun. Like, make it why not a Ferris wheel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, make it more fun. And so I'm really into one of my mottos: if you don't love it, don't do it. Really. And I don't mean like you have to do the dishes. Oh, you don't love doing the dishes? Don't do the, you kind of, but you can make doing the dishes fun. So what I'm saying is, yeah, there's going to be tasks in business that we have to, they need to get done. How can you make them fun? Or who can you hang out with? Deb, you talked about asking for help. Who can you hang out with that actually uplifts your energy and makes things a little bit more fun or enjoyable, etc. So that's my little prop that I brought. And that leads me nicely into round 3, our final round, which is what's cool about you. So my thing is, I love roller coasters. I was in America going on the roller coaster, and my son's like, Mom, you like roller coasters? I'm like, dude, totally. Like, he just didn't know that I was like courageous and daring. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thing. So this is going to be what's cool about you, what's coming up in your business, and how can we connect with you online? Deb.
Brilliant. Hey, just before I do that, I want to just intervene. That just reminded me of another really, really great book, which is called The Golden Ticket by Brendan Bouchard. And it actually is set in a sort of a fun fair. And it's really, really interesting it's again about using attitude, the way you approach life, how you can see different ways. So I'd thoroughly recommend that. Okay, the one cool thing about me, what most people don't know is I'm a musician from way back, but I play the flute. And I decided recently that the flute is not quite what I want to do because my partner plays in a jazz band. And so I'm now learning to play the saxophone because I have there's only one female in that band, and I have this dream of becoming the second female in that band for playing the saxophone. Yeah, so that's my little thing. What's coming up? So I'm about to do a series of webinars and live, what do you call them, like live, I forgot what they're called these days.
Live online training?
Live events where I'm actually going to be showing you how you can work with 6 key areas in your business to actually move forward and take what is essentially a really good business and make it into a really great business. So you can find that on my website and on other various channels. Does that make sense?
You mean live in person, right? Like in person.
In person. That's why I was forgetting what it was called. It's been such a long time since we've done these things live in person. So yes, we're having live in-person events coming up in August.
Awesome. And where can we find you online?
You can find me online. If you actually just put in DebraChantry.com, that's the best thing to do. That's my personal site, which then gives you links to the different businesses I'm involved in and a little bit of information about me and my passions and what I do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, you guys. As always, I meant to say earlier, we always include all the links, and I have someone that takes the notes for me, which is so great. So my beautiful friend Jo will listen to this episode. She'll take the show notes, and they will be posted on nataliecutlerwelsh.com/video series. You can just look for it on the menu, and you can watch not just this episode, but all of the past episodes. This is episode 19, and we are going to call it a day. We're going to wrap actually at the end of July. So, and there's a few exciting things coming up, which I'll mention in a moment. But let's go to Kim for what's cool about you.
Oh, what's cool about me? There's so many things that are cool about me. So I think one of the things that is really cool about me is my deep desire for continuous growth for myself and for the people around me and the wider world. And the fact that I am willing to take the path less traveled, so be a bit weird in this world, and my desire for fun and adventure and bringing joy into my life. So, I think life is here to be lived. And I think we take life way too seriously so much of the time. So one thing that I did when I was 14, I jumped out of a plane. I convinced my dad for my 14th birthday to jump out of a plane with me. He was not happy about it, but I loved it, every second of it. And I love that, just like the roller coasters, that bringing in the adventure and fun and overcoming your fears and just showing yourself that you're so much more capable than you think you are, right? We have these stories that kind of limit us of, oh, we can't do this and we can't do that. And so everything I do, I love to challenge myself to make me, a better person, to improve my life and to have fun along the way.
Total growth mindset. Amazing.
Total growth mindset for sure. And I hope to be doing it, till the day I die. And hopefully that's a very long life. So I'm excited about what my older self will be doing in those older years. In terms of where you can find me, my website is amazingbusiness.com. On there, I've got heaps of resources and articles. There's free trainings up there. There's one specifically on how to market during the current times. So that could be really useful for people, following on with my marketing tip. And I've got more webinars coming up, more free trainings coming up to really help business owners at this time. Like I said at the start, I'm so passionate about helping as many business owners as possible at the moment, get through this time and thrive through this time, because I think it's just better for the world. So, yeah.
Yay. Awesome. Amazing. Okay, Jeff, let's go to you.
Wow, I had something I was going to say, but I'm going to change it. So what's cool about me, one, I'm loyal. So I'm just that kind of person. I'm a loyal friend, a loyal husband, loyal father. And so that's what's cool about me. What's also cool about me is my wife and I have been to Antarctica. That was pretty cool. on a business think tank. Yeah, we love to travel all around the world. What I was going to share about myself, my business. So listen, we help people set up a side gig, a side hustle with an affiliate marketing program. It's kind of like it's an online pharmacy, kind of like Uber or Airbnb, but in the online pharmacy space, if you like, without the prescriptions. Beauty, healthcare, devices, etc., like that. So I run 6 Zooms a week live. I'm like on a mission. Like I'm on a mission. And so if you'd like to tune in and have a listen to what we're doing, find me on Facebook, which is there. Find my name. Not very hard to find. GHA finds me pretty easily, or LinkedIn. And let's have a conversation. And feel free to tune in. I'm happy to give anyone that wants to. We've got a US $750 online training system we have to give everyone for free. So yeah, and Natalie, I want to thank you and acknowledge you. Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm loved listening to Debbie and Debra and Kim with your amazing things, like heaps of notes, like I said, and yeah, grateful to have been invited.
Oh, that's great. It's so awesome to have you guys. It's really amazing. Part of what I love is the connections here. I know some of you guys have met before, but we haven't seen each other in a long time. So it's really nice to connect and see what everyone's up to. Amazing. Thank you guys so much. We've got Brigitte Beckenham saying, awesome insights, everyone. I will surely say I will act now from today, getting motivated for sure. Yay, thank you. That's so great. We do love your comments. So by the way, if you're just watching the replay, please do engage with us. We love it so much. We will come back and answer your questions if you've got them. And of course, in a few days' time, we will post the show notes. So if you missed some things or you want to find, so if you guys who are my beautiful guests, if you said anything that, like if you mentioned a book or something, if you can make it a little bit easier for me, send me the link. Kim, if you've got, webinar coming up, send me the link. We'll make it super easy for everyone to get in touch and basically raise the state of resilience, health, and happiness. Let's do this. This is what I do. I bring impact entrepreneurs together. So hopefully we can change the world. And by doing that, I'm amplifying my own impact. So that's really what I'm all about. Amazing. Thanks so much, Wendy Grace, as well. Thanks for listening, you guys. Coming up, by the way, in August, I'm going to be launching a little something, which I'll tell you a little bit more about next week. But a couple of people have been approaching me going, this series has been super awesome, and I haven't listened to them all, but I want to up my brave. I have a lot of people using my terminology back in their own life, which I love. It means it's resonating. I have people saying to me, oh my God, I'm totally living in the should zone. Or, oh my gosh, I've been living in the frustration zone for so long. And so when they start using my terminology and my phrases back to me, I'm like, let me help you with that. So if you want to live in the impact zone instead of the disconnected zone, the should zone, the frustration zone, let me help you to up your brave, because that's what you got to do. We're going to be telling you a little bit more about that. We'll be announcing it next week. So be in touch. Let me know. Private message me if you want to stay in the loop. Thank you so much, my beautiful guests. So good to have you here. All right. And until next time, you guys, remember to up your brave, say what you want, and make it happen. Thank you so much. See ya.